tornado.
When I saw it, I just knew I had to run from it.
Our pastor come running through the building, yelling, "Get the kids to the basement."
I remember hearing like a roaring noise. I remember things come flying in at us.
The car was just swaying and moving around and being hit by stones and debris.
Janie was hollering, "Mommy, Mommy," and then all at once, I couldn't hear her no more.
From the Weather Channel, this is Storm Stories with meteorologist Jim Cantore.
In April 1974, the Midwest and parts of the South experienced one of the worst tornado outbreaks in American history. A total of 147 twisters touched down in 13 states. The tornadoes killed hundreds and left thousands of others injured. Among the hardest hit towns was Xenia, Ohio, a rural community located 20 miles east of Dayton. There, one of the strongest twisters ever recorded touched down. It stretched a half-mile wide and registered F5 on the Fujita scale, the ranking reserved for the most destructive twisters. By the time it was all over, the town of Xenia had nearly been wiped off the map. Wednesday, April 3rd, 1974. A late morning storm blows in quickly over Xenia. It chases away warm and sunny weather, dropping temperatures briefly into the 50s. Just south of downtown, 23-year-old Vicki Fudge is nearing the end of her shift at the drugstore where she works as a stock clerk. She is anxious to go and pick up her two young sons, Eric and Sean.
I had taken my boys, who were 23 months and 4 years old, to my sister-in-law's house. She babysat for my boys.
As she finishes work, Vicki is unaware of the danger brewing in the sky. Strong cold jet stream winds are creating a low-pressure region east of the Rockies. As this air mass moves eastward, it collides with warm, moist surface air coming up from the south. The unstable conditions face off, creating instantaneous tornadoes all the way from Illinois to Alabama and east to the Appalachians. 4:30 p.m., 5 miles southwest of Xenia. Two funnels drop from the sky. They collide, becoming a single massive tornado that stretches up to a half-mile wide. And it is heading straight for Xenia and its 25,000 residents. At the drugstore, Vicki hears there's been a tornado warning. She assumes it's just a false alarm.
We received a phone call that there was a tornado headed towards Xenia. I had never seen a tornado before. I had never experienced one, so, I was in disbelief.
Shortly after 4:30, Vicki leaves work and begins the 4-mile drive to get her boys. Almost instantly, she spots the giant twister in the distance. Vicki knows that if she keeps driving in that direction, she will be heading right into the vortex.
It was coming towards Xenia, and it was long, black, and I just knew I had to run from it. But yet, my heart wanted to get to my boys.
Vicki has no choice but to turn the car around. She races off in the opposite direction, toward the Nazarene Kitty College, a daycare center and kindergarten where her mother works as a bookkeeper. Located just west of downtown, the school has about 200 students. Many have already been picked up for the day, but about 100 still remain in the building. Co-director Garnett Beam and other teachers hear a startling radio report that a twister is fast approaching Xenia.
One of our associates came up to me and he asked, "Garnett, what do you have for a procedure about a tornado?" And he said, "Well, you better instruct the teachers."
In fact, the school has no formal tornado plan, so the 37-year-old is forced to improvise.
I started getting the kids to the basement hallway, put their hands over their head to protect their heads.
Moments later, Vicky Fudge screeches into the school's parking lot and runs inside the building.
I was scared. I went down into the basement, and the children and the teachers were lined up, sitting on the floor, and I found my mother and sat down, and I was scared.
Among the children is Garnet Beam's 5-year-old son, Scott. Beam is torn between her responsibility to the students and her instincts as a mother.
He was sitting across from me, and as a mother, I had a desire to cover him, but then I said, no, I have this little girl laying on my lap that's afraid, and Scott wasn't afraid.
As Vicky looks at the frightened children, she can't help but worry about her own 2 sons, who she prays are safe at her brother's house. 2 miles southwest of the school, Vicky's brother Bill Drake is on his way home from his job at the city's water treatment plant. Suddenly, he sees the huge twister looming a few miles away.
The whole sky looked like a tornado. I'd never seen anything like that. I was just surprised it was that big. I knew I better get home quicker because at that point it really scared me.
When he gets to his house, Drake hustles his wife, his 3 children, and his sister's 2 boys out the door.
Just started yelling, "Get in the car!" And I wanted to get out of the house because that was headed right toward my house.
With everyone inside the station wagon, Drake races back toward the water treatment plant. He hopes they can take shelter in the plant's concrete basement, which is 30 feet below ground. Along the way, Drake struggles to control the car in the face of increasingly fierce winds.
The car was sliding and bouncing, and I think the wind was actually just pushing me down the street.
They make it to the plant, just blocks ahead of the monstrous tornado. The twister dodges the plant, but continues jogging northeast, right for the Nazarene Kitty College. Inside the preschool's basement, co-director Garnet Beam hears the sound of debris hitting the building. She tries to prepare the 4- and 5-year-olds for what could happen next.
I said, now, the lights may go out, but I told him, I said, now, the Lord's going to be with us, and I know more, and made that statement. And the lights went out. The tornado hit.
The twister slams directly into the school and peels back the roof. Teachers try to calm the screaming children as their building disintegrates 1 floor above.
He heard breaking of glass. We could hear the tumbling of the cement blocks.
We could hear the wind picking up. We could hear the tornado coming over top of us. And then the light fixture fell down from the ceiling.
And then, just as quickly as it started, everything comes to an abrupt stop. The ravaging tornado has moved on. Vicky and the others emerge from the basement to see what's left of the building.
We opened the doors to go upstairs, and when I opened the doors, there was nothing but sky. And it was just disbelief.
We saw the sky, that the whole roof and so much of it was gone.
And the nightmare is not over. Just before 5 p.m., the F5 twister heads straight for downtown Xenia. 22-year-old Anna Matthews and her 2 daughters, 5-year-old Janie and 6-month-old Melissa, are at a popular downtown hangout, the A&W Drive-In. As Anna places their orders, she has no idea that a tornado is barreling straight toward them.
I don't even think we got the food yet. And the wind kind of picked up a little bit heavier. And it got cloudy.
Suddenly, an employee runs into the parking lot and screams a warning that a twister is coming.
I just remember them coming out, running out and telling everybody to come in and take cover. There was a tornado, and I didn't know what a tornado was. I never heard of a tornado.
Though the drive-in's flimsy walls will provide little protection, it's the safest place for patrons to hide. Anna and her 2 kids seek shelter under a table next to an employee named Dorothy Rolland. Rolland moves closer to help shield 5-year-old Janie.
she was covering up Janie. And then all at once, it hit. The building collapsed on all of us. I felt helpless and scared, and nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do. Felt like the world was coming to an end, really.
"5 p.m. April 3rd, 1974. Scores of tornadoes are wreaking havoc in 13 states in the Midwest and parts of the South. A giant F5 twister has already decimated hundreds of homes and businesses in Xenia, Ohio. Now it's tearing through downtown with wind speeds estimated at up to 300 miles an hour. At the A&W Drive-In, 22-year-old Anna Matthews and her daughters, 5-year-old Janie and 6-month-old Melissa, huddle under a table as the twister rips the building to pieces.
I could feel the bricks, the building collapse, and feel cold water running like on the floor.
It was just really like a roaring noise. I remember hearing that, and then I remember seeing things come flying in at us. I thought the world was coming to an end. You know, I was scared to death. I was really scared.
Dorothy Rolland, an A&W waitress, is trying to protect Janie from flying debris.
I vaguely remember, whispering, telling me it's going to be okay, and I have it like in the back of my head that she kept telling me it's going to be okay.
In spite of the comforting words, the child screams for her mother.
Janie was hollering, "Mommy, Mommy," and then all at once, I couldn't hear her no more.
The roaring winds drown out her cries for help. Debris sails through the building as the walls come apart. Then, suddenly, everything becomes quiet. The tornado has moved on.
It didn't seem like it lasted long at all. It happened so fast.
After being on the ground for 39 minutes, the powerful twister finally dissipates. The tornado leaves behind tremendous damage. The A&W Drive-In has been reduced to a pile of rubble. Anna Matthews and her 2 daughters have survived, but they can't move beneath the mass of debris.
I thought we was going to die. Just didn't think, we was going to get out of there.
Just then, the mother hears voices a few yards away. Rescue workers have arrived and are digging for survivors.
Hear people talking and pouring stuff off of us. It seemed like they was just throwing bricks, blocks off of us.
After 45 minutes, Anna and her 6-month-old daughter Melissa are freed from the rubble. But when 5-year-old Janie is uncovered, the child is unconscious.
When they brought Janie out, she was out. And somebody was hollering, "Is there a nurse? Is there a nurse close by?"
One of the rescuers performs CPR on Janie. Seconds later, she regains consciousness. Soon after, however, volunteers uncover the body of Dorothy Rolland, the drive-in waitress who shielded Janie. She is dead, suffocated by debris.
I felt hurt, very hurt. I mean, she saved my daughter.
A mile west of the A&W, teachers and students at Nazarene Kitty College are gathered outside their shattered preschool. Everyone has survived, including all 100 children. The building is badly damaged, but still standing. Until parents can get there to find their children, co-director Garnet Beam watches over the students, including her 5-year-old son, Scott.
I think I was just so thankful that we were all still alive and that we had not perished in the tornado.
Vicki Fudge and her mother, a school employee, were also among those who had taken shelter in the school's basement. Before the tornado struck, Vicki had been en route to pick up her 2 young sons at her brother Bill's house. Now she is desperate to find out what happened to Eric and Sean.
I thought to myself, I have to get to a phone. There was no phone to go to. There was nothing. There was just total destruction. And that is when I thought, I have to walk and find my boys.
Since many of the roads are impassable, Vicki and her mother make the 2-mile journey to her brother's house on foot. Along the way, they see the trail of destruction the tornado has left in its wake. An hour later, they finally reach Bill's neighborhood. The devastation is worse than anything they have ever seen.
There wasn't a street. The houses were completely gone. It was just nothing but just piles of rubble. It was very bad. It was something that I never want to see again.
But when Vicki sees her brother's street, she is relieved to find that the twister has left many houses still standing, including her brother's. After finding no one home, Vicki speaks with a neighbor who says she saw Bill and his wife drive off with a car full of kids.
I said, when? What time was it? And she said, it was probably about 5 minutes before the tornado hit.
As it turns out, her brother and his family, as well as Vicki's 2 sons, have survived the tornado. They took shelter inside a concrete basement at the wastewater treatment plant where Bill works. Now, Drake leaves his family safely at the plant and heads into town to find Vicki.
She didn't know what had happened to us. The neighbors had seen us leave, and so they had no idea where we were.
At the Nazarene Kitty College, frantic parents are just arriving to find their kids.
They were all crying when they would see that we were all okay. Because when they would come up on our building, they felt like we had been killed because it looked demolished.
But their reunions are cut short by more frightening news.
We needed to all stay down in the basement because they hear that there were other tornadoes sighted. And I can remember dreading to think, oh, we're going to get hit again, and are we going to make it?
It's late afternoon on April 3rd, 1974. An F5 tornado has nearly flattened Xenia, Ohio. Rescuers have started digging for people trapped beneath rubble. Other survivors wander the streets in a daze. And the danger isn't over yet. Around 5:30 p.m., a second tornado warning is issued. Terrified residents scramble for cover. At the Nazarene Kitty College, everyone rushes back into the basement, which has sustained only minor damage.
I had a lot more fear when we were anticipating this tornado coming back. I was terrified.
After attempting to find her 2 sons, Sean and Eric, who were with her brother during the tornado, Vicki, Fudge, and her mother return and join the others in the basement.
My mom and I, we were there for quite a few hours, and I had no idea where my boys were.
Luckily, a second tornado never touches down. At 10 p.m., an all clear is issued. The danger is finally over. Vicki's brother Bill Drake arrives at the school with more good news.
I first told Vicki that her boys were okay, everybody was okay, and they were at the plant. Vicki and my mom, they were really emotional.
At 11 p.m., Vicki, 23-month-old Eric, and 4-year-old Sean are reunited.
I felt so happy and just gave him lots of hugs and kisses.
The next day, the scope of the disaster was revealed. 32 people were killed by the tornado. One of the victims was A&W employee Dorothy Rolland. During the twister, she used her body to shield 5-year-old Janie.
I consider her my hero because, you know, if it wasn't for her, I may not have been here.
All told, 2,000 homes and businesses were destroyed in Xenia. Total damage came to more than $75 million. It would take years to rebuild the town. Even now, 3 decades later, eyewitnesses still talk about the twister that transformed their lives and their hometown.
Xenia, like before the tornado, it was a nice, cozy little town. But the tornado changed that.
Anytime there's a tornado warning, we definitely heed the warning. Before 1974, never paid any attention to it. But now I really watch to see where it is.
What made the 1974 Xenia tornado stand out from other F5s? The answer when Storm Stories returns. So what made the 1974 Xenia tornado stand out from other F5s? Although the twister that struck Xenia was classified as an F5, experts say the destruction was so devastating, it's one of the few times they were tempted to assign an F6 rating. There has never been an F6 tornado. As a rule, F5 tornadoes are rare. They account for less than 0.1% of the twisters that touch down in the United States. During the 1974 super outbreak, the Xenia tornado was one of 6 F5s recorded in a single day. For Storm Stories, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori. Your local forecast is next.